Alright, good day and welcome. Oh, you need the key. You need the key. Fired up. Get off my windshield. I don't think that works. Give me my gear shifter. Alright. Stop that now. Alright. I wonder if my dad fixed his truck. Hope so. I gotta go finish that lean-to. I am so so done with the season. I don't want to work anymore. One time off, but I was practicing my double bass pedal there, double kicks this morning. Oh my god, bounce, bounce. Oh my god! You come down this road too fast, it's so bouncy. It's like your head starts hitting the top of the dash. What the hell? But I was, if you've ever heard Pantera's Domination, it is a crazy, crazy song. The Live in Moscow version is my favorite version. It's in black and white. 1991 Moscow. And that's how they start their show. I saw Pantera opening for Skid Row. It was Killer Dwarfs, Pantera, and Skid Row at the called the Civic Center. Now it was right beside it. What was it called? It was like it was part of the same complex, but it was just like one over. And that was my introduction to Pantera, and I believe that's the song they opened with. And just like at first I didn't know what to make of them. I liked them, but I didn't like them. But live they were very good. By the end of the show, I was a fan. I was a huge fan. Dimebag Darrell was like getting they had him on a roadie case, like. The roadies were pushing him like a lot in front of the stage, in between there, and when they were doing walk. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I mosh pitted, dived off the stage a few times. That was a crazy concert. That was really good. But anyway, Domination, that beginning. I was trying that. So I've been tweaking my pedal like pretty much all week, just to see if I could get it to get myself, find that sweet spot. And the thing about a pedal, okay, and drummer, like there's a lot of techniques you can use. Now I'm one of those conservation of energy kind of people where, okay, if that's the technique you gotta use that. But this idea of sliding all over the darn pedal board is, to me, seems like more energy than what it's worth, right? It means you're doing extra movements you don't have to. And in like judo and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, you're always trying to find the least amount of movements, right? So that you're not expending any more energy than you need to. And it's like the Bruce Lee method, like in Kung Fu, where it's like, like, don't do all these other things, just do this, get right to the point kind of thing, right? And the bass drum, like your pedal's like this, and you got your beater, and it's back like this, so when you press down, it hits, and it comes back, and then it springs a little bit, the spring loads up, and then it's ready. If you catch it right when the spring loads up, and you twitch on the pedal, it launches everything forward for you again. And this is, you can get some good angular momentum off your beater, right? So the trick is to get the springs timed with the beater so that when the beater starts swinging, the weight of the beater helps you fight the spring. So in other words, you work with the spring and you work with the beater, and balancing out the length of the beater, the weight of the beater, with the spring tension. If your beaters are too light, yes, they'll move really, really fast. You'll get them going really easy, but you'll tire out because you have to keep them moving. Where if your beaters are really heavy, they're really and out really far, they're harder to get going. I dug all that yesterday. That took me 5 hours to dig those two little garden patches there. It's gonna be nice when that's all in. I'm gonna put in a fence there too. But the point I'm making here, getting back to the topic, is that your beaters, when they're heavier, they carry more momentum. So again, a little harder to get going, but if you use the right techniques to start, just practice is the beginning verse of Domination. That quick stop and start with the little speed bursts on the double bass. And my God, if I wasn't sort of getting it, like both beaters in time and everything. So I had my beaters out like this at first, and about all the way out, and I found it, no, they were okay to get them going. So I started where my single pedal was, right? And it was okay to get going, but I found, okay, there wasn't enough momentum to keep them going, so I lowered them, and they were really quick to get going, and it was precise and everything like that, easy peasy, but they were too short, they didn't have enough momentum, energy stored in the beaters. Even with those 20-gram weights, there still wasn't enough length of beater out there to keep it really flop. You know, once you get it going, you know, whipping back and forth, it wasn't enough to keep it going. So I put the beaters out again. I tried them back further. Then I even tried them. One guy, he has them almost at 90 degrees. Mind you, the guy's been playing for years, so he's probably got so much ankle strength. This is not a thing, but he gets like the most powerful, clear hits. So it's not just about the speed; it's also about the clarity. So I got my beaters out full with the 20-gram weights in it. So the beaters, when the board gets going, it just takes off. But then I had to get my spring tensions right, and I settled back again around the 30-degree angle. Seems to be where I can load up the pedal enough, get it going fast enough, easy enough. There's a little bit of effort to get it going, but once it gets going, you know, like I'm gonna live with the pedal at that setting. Because if I could do that, start and stop, that's good. And then when I'm on, just flat-footed on it, heel down, just doing rock beats, that thing with there's not so much spring tension that it just plays me out. You know what I mean? So finding that sweet spot between beater momentum and spring tension for rebound is kind of hard, but getting it right, I think I might have found most of the sweet spot. Now the second thing I'm practicing is the end, or trying to get, I'm trying to figure out which blast beat she's using, and I think it's some sort of a triplet. And basically it's the end of the song called Venom. If you haven't heard that song yet, the live version will blow you away. The studio version is really good, but the live version, like when you hear Eleni Nota doing that blast beat at the end over that pretty chorus, it's so savage and it's so perfectly timed. I'm like, okay, how's she doing it? It's so good. If I can achieve that, I'm a happy camper. You know what I mean? I'm a happy camper. Like, yeah, I want to be able to do like really good beats, but like I want to be good at this, right? So my drumming is very focused. Yeah, I'll practice the fundamentals and stuff like that, but you know, I'm coming up on my 8 months of playing, and it's like, okay, I need to really work on grooves and songs. And I find when I record songs, I'm better in the song than I am by just, you know, dinking around. Obviously, the metronome is everything. When you have the double bass pedal, for sure. But practice without it too. You know, like practice the technique without it, and then refine it with the metronome is a good idea. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, if I could start and stop, do blast beats, start and stop, and not overkill myself. And I only practice maybe 15 minutes at a time, usually on average. But for me, it's kind of like get the song, you know, part down that you want to do, and then piece it together, right? I do this with guitar, I do this with every other instrument, and it works. And then once you got that, then you got stuff to practice, you know, and the idea is to get different techniques to practice. So, kind of like guitar, you know, like for example, sweep picking on a guitar. You practice it slow just to see where your fingers are going to go.